What's up, guys? It's Francis and Ed, or Francis UD again. So, just several hours ago, I've reached the northeastern Chinese city, Dalian. I am about to depart China to Japan at last, and I can't wait to see the soil, the land, and all those Western architectures blended with Japanese attributes in Fukuoka. There will definitely be a multitude of things for me to do in Japan, especially in Fukuoka. And since I haven't decided how many days exactly I should stay in Hokkaido just yet, and I just due to some severe time limits, and of course it goes without saying that you certainly know what's been going on, and what's been causing such or what's been constituting such time limits. But regardless, the first thing first, to I will definitely be filming, and I will definitely be filming a lot of people and things on my way, and on my way to Sapporo, to Hokkaido from Fukuoka. And of course, once I depart from Sapporo, Hokkaido, back to Fukuoka, assuming that I use Shinkansen or local shitetsu as the means of transportation back to Fukuoka. Assuming I do so, it will provide me with more opportunities to film more amazing things, especially the landscape. Especially the the people, the local culture, especially food culture, and other than the architecture per se, and probably I will be visiting. I will be paying several visits to several local museums as well. Of course, I'll also never forget to ring my grandma, just in case of any signs of trouble or whatnot. It's what a grandson, and in the meantime an adopted son of hers out to do to ensure that she feels secure and safe, and of course to ensure that she is actually secure and safe. There's a huge difference there, to feel secure and safe and to be actually secure and safe. I hope you guys can see the not exactly the subtle differences there. It's pretty obvious, unless you want to play or pretend to be stupid whatsoever. It doesn't quite concern me if you want to pretend to be stupid, or So I don't know, but I'm still striving to practice my Japanese, to have conversations with local Japanese people in Japanese. not just face to face, but cold calling. Just by calling some random, not just random people, but speaking of making cold calls, I actually have come up with more specific plans about whom specifically you should be calling, and at exactly what time, or the approximate range of time frames. I have taken many factors and mission parameters into consideration, and nevertheless, it still quite strikes me as curious that we don't really have the most optimal timing to ring to undertake a business to business cold calling project, since for a specific organization or for a specific business entity, it really depends on the decision. It really depends on the mercy of those actual decision makers, and it also will be subjected to their prejudice and preferences, of course. Since you make such cold call, you don't know anything about anyone in that particular organization. You suppose you will be calling to shortly after. You probably shortly after you watch this particular video of mine. What else? Well, in fact, tonight I also plan to make some videos about MGTOWs and the underlying reasons I reckon why that the current world, the current society, or the current matrix, why the current matrix or the world or the society has how should I put it, has created so many MGTOWs, fatherless children, like me, because I only get to spend a little bit more than 28 years with my deceased old man. For those, I failed to look after him adequately. That's probably why he just passed away like that all of a sudden. Due to various reasons, I don't actually feel like talking about that right now, because as soon as I begin to gather thoughts and ideas about MGTOWs, and nowadays great tribulations and persecutions against nowadays men and boys whatsoever, that I couldn't help but start thinking of my old man, and it is such a sad fate for the vast majority of nowadays men that they just have to work so hard for the rest of their lives, non-stop, just purely or exclusively for the sake of the well-being of his children and his their wives. I certainly feel highly skeptical about the actual meaning, the actual worth of doing so. That's what the vast majority of MGTOWs, single men, that they have with me in common. However, I've also got some ideologies, mindset that could vastly differ from theirs. such as the views on the Bible, the views on the Ten Commandments, and what Jesus told us about how to live, how to live a life that's fulfilling and pleasing to God, does living to please God and living for your own well-being actually clash with one another, or they are, or do you think they are mutually exclusive or subtly mutually inclusive? That's quite a profound question I have for you guys for tonight. Maybe we just have to prove them either right or wrong with empirical evidence. There's no point of talking about something while you don't actually haven't got to experience it firsthand on your own, and that's also one of the driving forces, one of the reasons why I decided to set sail to Fukuoka, Japan, then Kitakyushu, and then back to Fukuoka after I linger in Kitakyushu for a couple of days, and then head straight towards Sapporo in Hokkaido. And then I haven't figured out the rest yet, so I guess I have to figure the rest out while on the way. So I just like to point out one more crucial principles or codes about about how to take action. So in order to take actions, probably you just need to plan a little bit and then start taking actions instead of planning or planning a prolonged plan, and you could probably end up getting nothing done at all. But staring at the maps, staring at the results of your Google search queries whatsoever, and some sort of decision overload and information overload, because that's that I used to fall victims to decision overload and information overload, and even until the present time, to today, I still tend to fall victim of decision overload from time to time. And before I know it, I couldn't help but start thinking too much about a certain repercussion of a certain action I think I'm about to decide to take. That's what that's what tends to procrastinate or postpone all of my plans of action the most, so far as I can reckon. So I think I have talked enough about how to take actions and MGTOWs and the plans for the next couple of days. I think I have talked I think I have talked enough about them, and I better start trying to finish up what I've what's left with the trip planning and the route planning and some other applications for some tour group tours whatsoever. So thanks again for watching and listening. I'm your host Francis Judy, and you stay tuned, stay blessed, stay faithful, and I shall see you in Japan. First day of Japan in Fukuoka. Bye bye. Cheers. おやすみなさい。Jesus.